great Ujamaa family, man, listen. I'm moving slow today, or either that or the sun is rising. One or the other. The sun is rising, or I don't know. And then, when I got on the app this morning, it said something to the effect of me being able to stream live. Do not let them bring that live streaming function back. Please don't do it. But anyway, great family, great Ujamaa to each and every last one of you, family. For those of you that are new on the journey, I want to apologize because we usually do a studio radio show, ready show. I do it from the Black Cave, but the Black Cave had to be broke down because my nemesis, the Great Pumpkin, Mr. Charlie, and Charlie Wonka, or Mr. Wonka, they all found out what was going on here at GME Journey, and they heard that some of y'all was planning on becoming supporters, so they had to go and destroy the Black Cave. You know, every superhero needs to have villains, you know what I'm saying? And the Great Pumpkin is my nemesis, right? You know what I'm saying? Batman got the Joker, I got the Great Pumpkin. Right? I got Mr. Charlie, right? You know what I'm saying? I got my gallery of rogues that's running out here crazy. But anyway, for those of you that's new, once again, and those of you that are regular listeners, I want to apologize because the podcast is coming up a little bit later because I have to do it a little bit differently because we are still breaking stuff down. I got some things I have to figure out how to get to the Goodwill. We got to donate some stuff. Still got plenty of boxes around, and I'm trying to create the space so that we can do what we do. But right now, I got to, we got to float. We got to make things happen the way they are. So right now, I am on the porch with my cell phone, recording this show. So let's get to it. Thoughts of the day, right? Just to jump off. Well, before we get all into that, let me give you the basic proverb that I found today. You know what I'm saying? I'm even doing the proverbs a little bit differently because usually I have a more random type process, but the process for picking the proverb for the day is a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting up, I'm getting my coffee together, and I'm thinking about the show, or angling the show a little bit differently while I am in transition, right? So I have to think about it, and I do a little bit more writing, which is cool. And then I gotta know that I'm gonna get on here and freestyle. But the proverb, I'm just throwing it out, right? I'm like, boom, I need a proverb for the day, right? Throwing it out there. I need an African proverb for the day that fits this day. So this morning, the proverb that came up, I want to say it how it said it. However long the night, the day will break, right? Now, and it just so happened that I don't recall ever using that one, but that is one of my favorite proverbs. I just said, no matter how dark the night, the day will come, or the day is sure to come. And that is such an appropriate proverb for us on this great Ujamaa, right? A day that is based on looking at the resources around us, truly exploring and looking for the resources. Because the one thing that we do know, family, is that we find what we're looking for. You are a divine being. You find what you're looking for. This is why we took the principles and we have the principles in the day. Not just so that we can culturally paint over the days. We don't just want to use cultural paint. We want to use cultural ideas. So every day that you say the name of the principle for that day. Today is Ujamaa. You need to be looking for it. You need to be looking for it. Is that right, Anime? Anime agree. Anime agree. She agree. She agree. So, I am like, oh, okay, cool. Anime agrees. So, look for it, family. So, also, when we talk about Ujamaa, once again, I got to be clear. We're not talking about building up money in our community. We are, you know what I'm saying? Because, of course, and money can be a part of it, but money is a tool. Money's a tool. And we have to be clear about that, right? Money is, but it's not the only tool. Money is a form of capital or a representation of resources, a representation, right? A symbol, right? Money is the tool. Learning how to use that money, right? But anyway, and learning how to use the resources that back the money and learning how to take control of the resources that back that money. And one of the major resources that we have in our community, and once again, a lot of this stuff is repeat, but I have to make sure we get it, is people resources. This is one of the lessons that Elder Kelsey, Dr. Baba Kelsey, has been drumming into us in the last 4 years. He is constantly talking about people power, the capital of human effort, the skills that we have. And a lot of times we allow the idea of money to overshadow all that, the major resource that we have, right? But anyway, so that's the proverb for today. The algorithm that we're going to be working with for this morning is a beautiful algorithm, right? I know y'all like the one from yesterday because I like the one from yesterday. But the one for today, I think you're going to like a little bit more. Check this out. We are on Ujamaa, and the algorithm for today is I invest in people, not just products. I invest in people, not just products. One more time. I invest in people, not just products. You gotta, come on now. Allow that to roll around in your mind just for a minute before I get into a little bit more of this discussion. So for those of you who are Ujamaa born, we want to give you a round of applause. So shouts out to the Ujamaa born, right? But also remember, we are looking at the week and we are mastering, or we are going a little bit deeper. For those of you that's been a little bit longer, those of you that's new, stick with Ujamaa, right? They deal with the process, deal with the concept of cooperative economics, right? Cooperative economics. Break down what is economics, right? Break down what are the resources that make up economics. Break down the system that we are in. We're in a capitalist system, so we look at capital. Look at the many different types of capital out there, right? When we talking about collective economics, what are we really talking about, right? What are these resources that Brother Hatim is talking about? Can you see these resources? Do you see them as you move through your day? Can you recognize them, right? Can you bless them? Can you put some thought energy on them? Can you, because you never know what ideas you may come up with. But also with this principle, right? When I had to give it to my children, I had to simplify it. I said, listen, this is also the principle of gratitude. Because in order to really work with the resources, you have to show gratitude. Like, for example, in ancient times, when we would go into the woods and we would hunt, we would leave a piece of our catch in the wilderness, right, as a salute. Or we would leave something when we chopped down the tree. We believed in exchange. We believed in the reciprocity and respecting the nature and respecting what was going on in the world, right? being part of the cycle, not just being a leech or a parasite on the cycle, right? This is what this system teaches you to be. It teaches you to ultimately become a parasite on everything and everyone around you. Everything does have a purpose, but in the way that they teach us about purpose, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Those of you that's old enough know, you heard this in hip hop. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And that is some gobbledygook. Gobbledygook. Junk. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Many of us came up in homes where we was told that. Right? We got to change the thought process. We got to change the minds. We got to change our minds so that we can start really helping our young people get to where they really need to be. How many artists I can just think of my generation and my children's generation, my oldest children's generation, right? How many artists did we destroy because it didn't make dollars, so it didn't make sense? How many scientists did we stop because it wasn't making dollars, them exploring, right? Come on now. Come on. Just think about it for a second, right? So now, those of you who are new, just go and focus on the Ujamaa. Those of you that are a little bit advanced, let's go a little bit deeper, right? So we need to look at the principle of the week. The principle of the week is Umoja. With the principle of the week being Umoja is ultimately unity. So we want to look at unity through the lens of Ujamaa, through the lens of gratitude, through the lens of understanding cooperative economics. How does that play a part in getting unity, in maintaining unity? You understand? You see how it works, right? We stack, right? Now, those of you that are good at that, now we're going to move to the next level. All right, cool. All right, Brother Hatem, what do you mean next level? We are, if I am correct, once again, we are in the cycle of Ujamaa. So we got Ujamaa Day, Umoja Week. We are in the cycle of Ujamaa, right? How does the Ujamaa Day and Umoja Week fit into the larger concept that we're working on over this next 49 days, right? With the larger concept of Ujamaa. And lastly but not least, those of you that's been here a long time, you got another layer. Let's go another layer deep. We got Umoja. My fault, we got Ujima. We got the principle, we are in the year of Ujima, which is the ultimate lesson that we as a community and we as an individual, we should perfect our understanding. I'm just saying, we should improve our understanding of Ujima by the end of this year and be able to, at Kwanzaa time, to be able to talk about our lessons of Ujima before we move into the next year. All right, but anyway, now let's get to. Oh, I already did that. The ancestral algorithm is I invest in people, not products. Very powerful one. And family, I messed up because I didn't start off by dropping. This is why Brother Hatem needs a script. Put down the pistol, anime. Put down the pistol, please. This is why Brother Hatem needs a script. I wrote 4 of them for today because I don't have one to start off. Excuse the noise. I got a lot of stuff going on at the house. But it is what it is. The darkness will run as the light from your soul shines. Stop hiding your shine. Maybe I could put stop hiding your glow. I don't know. But anyway, that is haiku. The brother's haikuing. Yes, class is in session. That's right. The brother is haikuing. All right. And that one came Because, over the last couple of days, waking up, listening to the birds sing, and being able to see this big giant tree in the front yard that's probably fucking up my plumbing. But, it is. It's a blessing, right? It's a blessing to have the spot. But you realize you truly are a divine spark. And you get what you look for. Right? Focus on what you want. Be clear on what you want. Because you might get it. All right. Second one for today. I have figured out that shame, blame, and guilt is used to hold you hostage. Family, I had a conversation yesterday with someone that was trying to help me, helping themselves. They was helping themselves. They're trying to help me. And they had to walk me through my guilt in order for me to be able to accept the assistance that they were able to give me. I don't know if that ever happened to you, the guilt, the shame, and the blame. You know what I'm saying? Because we could be very rough on ourselves, right? The shame that holds us stuck because we want to bury the shame, right? We want to find somewhere to place the blame. We feel guilty, and oftentimes when we start stripping away and really looking at these things, we start seeing how deeply these things are part of our personality, and not only how some people in your life are using these things, but we have to realize it is what the system uses to hold you in place. I want you to really think about that. Blame, shame, and guilt. You are being beat with it, right? We need to figure out what it is that is on us and start scraping that shit off. Remember, because we doing that via negativa, family. You understand what I'm saying? What is it that you need to scrape away that may be holding you back, holding you in place, right? Blame, shame, and guilt. You know what I'm saying? We're moving towards peace, power, and joy. Shouts out to Elder Wakesa. Shouts out to Elder Wakesa for giving us the language to even be able to have this conversation. All right. Next haiku. My life is changing one decision at a time. I just have to move. All right. Keep moving, family. Keep moving. Keep living. Keep moving. Keep living. Keep messing up. And it's okay. You're gonna get through. Last but not least, health is truly wealth. You will not notice this fact until it is gone. Health is truly wealth. You will not notice this fact until it is gone. I had the pleasure of sitting with one of my brothers the other day, because he reached out. All right, cool. I went over and had an opportunity to sit with him. But this is what's crazy, right? He had a bottle of ambrosia that was 12 years old. Listen, it had to be 12 years old. I'm going to tell you how old this bottle is. Cleve, when I went over his house, I took Cleve and Gina with me. Cleve went to the bathroom and saw that he had clippers. This is how young Cleve was. Cleve went into the bathroom and acted like he was using the bathroom and cut his hair. So Cleve was young enough to be not care about his hairline, because he totally fucked up his hairline. This how old this bottle of ambrosia was. So he was like, man, I said, where is it at? He says, in my car. I said, it's in your car. So I go out to the car. I dig it out. I twist the cap and it goes, tss. It's that sound of letting that gas off. And I drink it and it has totally eaten up all the sugar. And I told him, I said, hey, just joking. When I said, hey, just call me in the morning and make sure I'm alive, right? But I'm not concerned, because the ambrosia, when you brew like that and use honey, it don't go bad. It's hard to go bad, especially when you keep it sealed. And I'm like, damn, it was very flat, right? And it's like 12 years old and it's still good. He ain't the only friend I got that got an old bottle of ambrosia. If you got an old bottle of ambrosia around and you want to sample, let Brother Hotel Cobra and get a sample of it, fam. Because I'm like, yo, I put my foot in that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man. And I said, oh, you don't know. And then after he saw me drink, he said, no, man, don't drink it all. Oh, now you want some. You had it sitting in your car. You had it for the last 12 years. You had your chance. Stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? Family, and speaking of that, listen, health is wealth until you lose it. You won't notice until you lose it. Take care of yourself. Okay? Do the best that you can, family. Remember the 5 pillars of health. The breath, water, a culturally appropriate diet. Right? Culturally appropriate diet. Movement and rest. Now, let me say this about the diet, right? Take your supplements, right? But family, take the supplements to enhance what you're doing already, not to fill in gaps. Because what I'm noticing is that a lot of people are taking the supplements, right? Doing it to fill in the gaps. Listen, take some time. Get a steamer. Let me tell you right now, one of the best things that you can have in your kitchen, I believe, is a steamer, right? Because you could throw fish on there. If you eat chicken, you could throw chicken on there. You could do some rices on there. You could do beans on there, and you could put it in there, and it'd be done in like 45 minutes, right? But the whole piece is because of the temperature, it cooks it, but it allows a lot of the nutrients to stay in the food. Get on the culture. If you are African, get on the African heritage diet, right? Go get some African friends. See some of the food that we traditionally used to eat, right? And give it a try, right? Plug in, throw in more vegetables on your plate, right? The vegetables and the grains on your plate should be a lot bigger than the meat portion of your stuff. I'm not one of those that's going to tell you not to eat your meat, because I know, hey, I understand. I'm not even going to tell you not to eat your pork. I'm not on that. What I'm on is family. Make sure you have the proper portions. The meat, actually, up into these modern times, the meat was more of a flavoring, and you was lucky if you got a piece of it. The meat was used for flavor, right? What we're doing is we are able to make the meat the major part of the meal. And I'm just going to say, eat your meat, but the meat does not have to be the major part of your meal. Learn how to do some food combinations, like a real good protein. They say damn near perfect protein is rice and beans. You want protein in your diet? Rice and beans, right? And guess what? You cook both of those together in a steamer. Anyway, this is Brother Hatim, family. I didn't mean to go off on that, but I just was thinking, and you know what I'm saying? I'm very grateful that I'm 58 and I'm able to get up. I can't walk like I do. I think I pulled my groin, but I feel it coming back. I'm doing back into my Tai Chi. I'm doing my Tai Chi now again. I'm doing my rope flow, getting my time in, and things are coming together slowly but surely. All we got to do is be patient and look for what we want. Look for what you want. I'm going to say it one more time. Look for what you want. All right, family. This is Brother Hatim. I am out.